Hello guys, Blade Arts here, and today I'm going to be talking about the T-80 Soviet Tier 4 light tank. And the reason I want to focus on this tank is it is one of the new tanks that was recently released in 8.6. And the main reason I want to talk about it is it's the only one of these, I believe, 3 Russian light tanks that were released this recent patch, and 8.5 of course. I'm still thinking about the 8.6 artillery patch that's coming up in the next couple weeks, I believe. But the reason I want to talk about this tank is it's the only one out of the 3 that I believe is worth keeping. The T-60 does, I think that both the T-60 and the T-70 both have the option for an autoloader, and it's alright, but you're going to run into problems with penetration on both of those tanks. And the reason I don't like the T-60 as much is it does a terrible job compared to what you could be getting from the Panzer II, and that's one of my favorite tanks is the Panzer II. I think I got a 69% win rate on that tank. Somewhere in the 60%, but that's irrelevant because that's tier 2 stat padding, seal clubbing, whatever you want to call it. But the reason I'm recommending this tank is because it has amazing traverse, very good traverse. It's got that sloped armor, so you can actually be dinging and bouncing a fairly good amount of shots as long as you're not getting hit with any really heavy weaponry, like say KV-1 or something with really high penetration. You have a good chance of digging and bouncing. And the way I play this tank is I mainly I kind of use it as a flanker. If the tank is busy, say a KV-1, M4, heavy tank is busy, I try to zoom right past him. I try to just get a good circle on him. And the turret traverse and the general traverse of this tank allows you to really get up close and hug him. But if they do fire at you, if they do have buddies, you're going to go down really quickly. Your armor is terrible for the most part. But here, I'll tell you about the basic stats. And also another thing that beats the other 2 tanks, it's faster than them. So it's slow, but the tier 3 and the tier 2 and the tier 3 are as slower. So it comes with 3 crew members: commander, radio operator, loader. And the commander is the radio operator and the loader, of course. And a gunner and a driver. So commander, gunner, driver. Engine power 170 horsepower. Speed limit 45 kilometers an hour. The traverse is an amazing 48 degrees per second. So that's definitely one of the highlights of this tank. Power to weight ratio 15 to HP per ton, horsepower per ton. And pivot, no, of course not. It's definitely for I think the French autoloaders have the pivot in the American autoloaders. It's one of their key things. It's very good. Hull armor 35, 25, 25. Turret armor 35, 35, 35. So you better chance dinging and bouncing on your turret. Damage, so another I'd say the damage is decent, but it is definitely a plinker gun. You're not going to be going in there doing lots of alpha, but it is accurate and it is consistent. It has great accuracy, great consistency, and the bloom circle really goes down quickly, so you're not going to have too much trouble aiming, getting those really difficult shots in. The penetration is only 56 for 94, and that's why usually for this tank, and the reason is also the Art of War contest coming up, is I've been running this tank with gold rounds. It's really a call up to you. If you can afford to run it with gold rounds, go ahead. They're only 800 a round, but then again, you're only hitting 40 to 50 damage a hit. So if you're willing to spend the credits on that, if you got premium or something, or if you're just willing to take the hit to your wallet, go ahead. And I'd recommend it, to be honest. Because if you're running the gold rounds, you're going to be consistently getting pens, and it's much better. But yeah, to be honest, the normal round penetration is kind of meh. It's what I'm going to say on that subject. Rate of fire 28.57 rounds. I think I got it on 1.97 at the moment. So no brothers in arms or anything. I'll have to check that when I actually play the video. Accuracy 0.46, so not terrible, not amazing like some German tanks. I think got 0.4 and even under that. Aim time 2.3 seconds, so really fast aim time. Turret traverse, like I said earlier, just the tank traverse and the turret traverse are amazing. And they're really good. Turret traverse is 45 degrees per second. And the arc is really not that important. I think the depression, the max depression you can get is -6. So you're not going to be getting too much depression, but I think that's standard on most Russian tanks. 100 round capacity, and you're going to need those 100 rounds if you're to take down. Well, hey, if you're having an amazing game, you're going to need a lot of rounds, because it's going to take a lot of damage to plunk these guys down. Chance of fire 20%. View range 330 meters and signal range 325. And of course, this tank does lead up into the T-34, and I bought the T-34 from this. I researched it, and from what I hear, the T-34 is a really good tank, so that's definitely something I'm going to be working for. And if you're wondering if you should be going this tank instead of the A-20 to get the T-34, I'd say yes. Go through the T-60, go through the T-70, and then this tank is smoother sailing than you would get with the A-20. Because the A-20 does get scout matchmaking and can get into tier 8s. With this tank, I don't think I've gotten into a tier 7 match yet. Because, yeah, it's impossible to get a tier 7 match. Even though it is a light tank, the max matches you can get is 4, 5, 6 with this tank. So, much, much better than the A-20 in getting into tier 8 matches. So, highly recommend going here. If you're looking to go to the T-34, go from this tank. And, of course, the cons, it's slow. You're going to have low damage, but it's consistent. The pro to me is that it's consistent. And it's fast. It's like the Matilda gun to me. It's a good sniper. But yeah, so it's small. You can traverse people. You can circle people really well. Even though it's slow, it's just once you get close enough to them, you can start working your magic. And now I'm going to start a quick replay for you guys to check out here, and I'm going to commentate it.